probably defines what a six-cylinder inline engine is in a BMW. You might use this video as a guide, I guess. This car has two issues, and one of them is super typical for BMWs. Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, and I guess I should say a few words just to give you all an idea of what's going to happen here in this video. I actually don't know what I'm going to be doing. I cannot even really tell you what this video is going to be about. Or no, I know what the video is going to be about. It's going to be about fixing this car or things that need to be fixed on this car. Well, the thing is that I don't know exactly what it's going to be, and the beauty of this situation is that you and I are going to go over this car and learn and find things out and figure things out, and we're going to, well, I guess that's going to be a lesson. If you get into older BMWs, if you never had an old BMW and you decided to buy one, or you already have bought one, you're going to have a lot of things to deal with. And I guess this is applicable to people that do things with their own hands, not those who buy something and give it to a shop to fix, because these cars make no sense to buy and give to a shop to fix, because it's going to be, shop prices are going to be probably more than what the value of the car is. So most people that are going to be watching this video are those who wants to learn something and wants to fix something with their own hands. So a couple of things, I guess. This is a 2004, which is 22 years old now, introductory E46 ZHP automatic transmission, and this is the car has almost around 200,000 miles. It's all original except for the wheels and tires. Everything else in the car is original. It has been maintained somewhat, but not a whole lot. Basic things have been fixed as they came up, but in general the car is pretty much stock. Everything that you see or will see on this car is the way it came from the factory, from the assembly line. This car is not in a perfect condition, of course. It's been used as a normal car would be used. In any case, E46, 330i, almost 200,000 miles. I guess let's get to the point. As far as I know, this car has two issues, and one of them is super typical for BMWs, and one is not so typical. So let's start with not so typical problem. This car has developed some kind of a vibration that's coming. If you drive it, the vibration starts to happen at certain RPMs and under a load. So if you just are on an interstate going constant speed, there's nothing happening. If you're just accelerating gently, nothing is happening. But if you start to load up the drivetrain, I guess, at certain RPMs, vibration just arises, and it has been developing not lately, but through a few past years. Actually, it wasn't so bad at the beginning. Now it's really unbearable, so it has to be fixed. So the vibration is coming from the middle of the car, so it's not the engine mounts, it's not the transmission mounts. Most likely it's either the drive shaft or the differential mounts. So that's one thing we are going to be looking for or at. So a vibration that needs to be fixed. The thing number two, which is super typical for BMWs, is, you might have guessed, no, well, yes. There are two things, I guess. So you have coolant and oil, engine oil. Power steering is a fluid, it's oil too, but these engines produce two types of leaks in general. It's the oil or the coolant. Both of them are, well, these engines are famous for those. And no, it's an M54, the most reliable engine out of them all. This is as reliable as it gets. I have seen good examples of M52, So, but M54 is the engine that defines what a six-cylinder inline engine is in a BMW. The engine oil leaks is what this engine is famous for, and the coolant, like I said. But this engine is producing a fairly noticeable oil leak, and I don't know what's leaking. The oil pan gasket has been replaced, but in any case, maybe it is the oil pan gasket again, because it's not that fresh anymore. So that's once. Let's guess what it might be. I guess the suspects would be the oil pan gasket, rear main crankshaft seal, oil filter housing gasket, valve cover gasket. 1, 2, 3, 4, like four possible scenarios. Don't know what it is, and like I said, we are going to find out. So if you're curious, well, make a guess, and I'm going to not if in this part, which probably is going to be part 1. As soon as I'm done with talking, I'm going to start looking around, and we'll be looking around, looking under the hood. We will find out what it is, what this engine is doing. So I guess that should be it. That should be enough for the introduction. I guess a couple of things, or one thing that I should say, that if you have your hood up and start looking at the engine and all, it's really hard to identify or find the place where the oil is coming out from, because this is fairly tightly packed, and at least you would have to start removing some things like the oil, the air filter box, for example. But otherwise, if you start looking top down, it's really not that easy to see what's happening here. In any case, let's look around. Well, I guess see what we can figure out, what we can find out. Like I said, I have no idea. I have some suspicions, but again, I don't really know. And the lesson out of this video is going to be, we're going to be looking at things, and I'm going to, I guess, point out and make a note of everything that is like a possible maintenance item or things like that, so you may learn something. Especially if you're about to buy one of these cars, there are things that are going to be important to look at, and I guess I'm going to point out to what's right, what's wrong on this car, and what's not wrong on this car, what's broken, what's not broken, what's leaking, what's not leaking. And if you might use this video as a guide, I guess, to your pre-purchase inspection. I'm curious to find out how bad of a job it's going to be, in the sense that I don't want to get into into pulling the engine out, for example. I don't think that's going to be the case, but if it's the rear main, then the transmission has to come out, and that's not something that I really want to do at this point. Yeah, well, let's start looking.